Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern house for all of your city building needs. In this tutorial, I will show you how to make the entire house inside and out. If you have any suggestions on what I should make next on the channel, please leave a comment down below. I would love to see what you guys want to see. And of course, wait until the very end of the video to see where we place our modern house in our city. This is the amount of space required to make the house. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin by placing 4 smooth quartz blocks on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then extend to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then extend down to the ground, and then backwards by 2. 1, 2. Then place a grey concrete to the right. Dig in the ground to the right by 2, replacing those blocks with grey concrete, and then place oak doors on top of those blocks. Place a grey concrete to the right. Dig 2 more rows, replace those blocks with grey concrete, and then place a grey concrete on the end. Extend our grey concrete backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend to the right with light grey concrete by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend across by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then place a grey concrete. Extend forwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then dig in the ground to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Replace those blocks with grey concrete. On the end here, place a grey concrete. Destroy another block. Replace that with grey. Place an oak door on top of it. And then 2 grey concrete to the right. Extend inwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then place a row of 5 smooth quartz extending right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which will line up all the way to where we very first started, just like this. We can now extend the side of this shape upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And we simply want to fill the entire wall in here using smooth quartz. On the back, we want to add a row of smooth quartz along the base and then place a smooth quartz here and here with glass block in the empty spaces. Place a row of smooth quartz block on top like this. Then, on the front of the build, set 1 row inwards here. We want to place a row of stripped oak wood with a row of glass in the middle, and then place stripped oak wood extending above and around the glass. We can then extend the smooth quartz block here backwards to meet this grey concrete, which we will just exchange out for a smooth quartz, and then we will extend these rows upwards like this to meet the height of the rest of the smooth quartz rows. And this is a garage. The way that we will get inside of it is a doorway right here. So we will just leave this open. Before we make any more of the walls, we are going to replace all of the grass inside of the garage with andesite. This includes the block that the door will sit on top of. And then we will remove all of the grass inside the rest of the house. And replace it all with grey concrete. And then we can just fill the top of the garage in using smooth quartz. Next, we are going to fill this empty space in here with glass, and we will place another row on top of it. We want to do the same thing on the back. We place a row of glass here and add another row on top of it. So next to this window, we actually want to raise up this grey concrete by 2 rows. 1, 2, and this can expand around to the left above the entrance. On the right side of the build, it's a little bit different, so we will place grey concrete here, leaving a gap of 2, which we then want to fill in with glass. But we can then place grey concrete around the top of it, and we also want to extend our grey concrete 1 row outwards like this. So we take that top row, expand it, and then we want to extend this grey concrete here up by 1, 2, extend left and up, and then right by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just brings us right back to here. We want to add a small window here. This will be with glass pane, so we'll just place it directly right of the grey concrete. Place grey concrete to the right of that. Extend the grey concrete backwards. We also want to do a similar thing over here, so we want to place 2 grey concrete here, extend out, add another row on top, and then connect the top together to the front. And then we are able to use a glass pane. We can place it along this inward row, and we can create a curved piece of glass just like this. So we get a lot of interesting depth here by doing this. Then we are able to extend our grey concrete backwards a little bit more. So we're going to work from the top here. We're going to extend this back and then just in, and then we just want to join down. On the inside of the build, we can pretty much seal up most of this wall. So we want to leave enough space so that we are able to walk into the kitchen. You could even give yourself an additional row if you want to, but I think that I'm just going to have 2 rows here. Then we are going to focus on the back of the build by connecting this grey concrete across and forwards to the front of the build, like this. And then we can connect these rows down, just like so. And we can just fill around this area in with the grey concrete. We may add windows to the top of the build, so we'll just leave this open for now. But for this portion here, we are going to place an additional 2 rows of grey concrete on top of our row of grey concrete, and it wants to wrap around the window and the door. And this is actually where the interior floor is. So this is going to be the second story of the house. We can just extend the grey concrete inwards from here, and we can seal up the first floor. And then back on the back of the house, we are going to add an additional row of grey concrete here with an oak door next to it, a row of grey concrete here next to the door, and then we want to place 1, 2, 3 rows of glass just to fill in this empty space. I'm realizing that we actually have an opportunity to extend our light grey concrete area another row backwards. So we are going to add another row of light grey concrete onto the back here, add another layer of grey concrete for the floor, and then we are going to extend our light grey concrete upwards by 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can even extend it across just right to the window here. And then we just want to extend the other 2 corners up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The entire side here we can just fill in using light grey concrete. On the front here, we just want to add a glass in this position with a light grey concrete on top, glass on top, light grey concrete on top. We're going to fill this gap in just next to this, and on the back we want to do the same thing, so we'll add a vertical row of light grey, glass, light grey, glass, light grey, and then we will connect the light grey together front to back, and then we can fill the top of this in using glass. With the main structure of the house complete, minus the roof, we are now going to work on the garden. So to begin with, we are going to remove these 2 rows in front of the door extending all the way out to the edge of the grid. We will then place a mixture of stone and smooth stone leading all the way out to the edge of the grid, filling in all of this empty space. We also want to do a similar-ish thing to the garage, so the 4 rows in front of the garage door we want to remove, but this time we are just going to use stone. And another option as well is to throw in some andesite, kind of just sparingly like this. So if you kind of just want to make it a little bit more visually interesting, then you can do that. And you could even experiment doing this a little bit with the footpath as well. You probably don't want to use as much of it, but I think that that looks pretty good. So then, along the side of the drive here, we are going to place an azalea leaf with a spruce fence gate here, and then azalea leaves leading all the way to the end of the grid, extend to the right by 1. We then want to grab spruce trapdoors and place 1 here and 1 here. This just looks like a good old garden gate. We then want to place azalea leaves extending all the way across to the right of the edge of the boundary, and then all the way backwards to the back of the boundary. When you reach the back, however, we are going to place a stripped oak wood, and then right of this, 3 azalea leaves. So 1, 2, 3. Then a wood, and then 3 azalea leaves. I think that you guys get the pattern by now. So all being well, this will connect us to the opposite end of the grid. We can then extend all of the wood upwards, and then this is a nice little detail that I like. We can place oak trapdoors on the leaves and then flip them upwards. I personally like the trapdoors to kind of like be at the back, and it just looks like a fancy sort of fence that a fancy sort of person like ourselves might have. We can then place azalea leaves along the rest of the edge of the grid, leading all the way to the front of the build, and then this will extend across and connect to this drive. We can then remove some more of this grass because we want a footpath that leads all the way to the back of the build like this. You could even make like a little back patio if you wanted to, although I did plan for this just to be just completely grass, but then we can just use our andesite, and I just got rid of it, but we could also use the stone just to like piece this together in as much or as little of each material as you would like. And then fan favourite, well, my favourite, we are going to place podzol along the side of this pathway, and then I'm just going to fill it in with stripped oak wood. No, with poppies. Next, we are going to place a flower pot here in this corner with an azalea in it, a lantern here on the opposite side of the door, a brown glazed terracotta with an azalea leaf on top of it in this corner. We then want to leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place a smooth quartz stair, gap, stair. Leave a gap in front of this, and then place smooth quartz slabs, like so. We then want to place an oak fence here, here, and here, and extend these upwards with spruce trapdoors on top. And then we want to extend, not like that, extend and connect them to the house. So we're just making ourselves a nice little overhang, just like this. And if one wanted to, then you could add some lanterns to it as well. Although I'm not certain that that looks any better, but I'll leave that up to you. Next, we are going to add some paving stones. These will extend from here all the way to our little chill out area. Leave a gap of 1 and place a smooth stone in the ground. Gap of 1, smooth stone. Gap of 1, smooth stone. Gap of 1, start extending backwards, smooth stone. Gap of 1, smooth stone. Leave a gap of 1 extending right, smooth stone. Gap of 1, smooth stone. And now start extending towards those seats. Gap of 1, smooth stone. Gap of 1, smooth stone. Gap of 1, smooth stone. There we go. So we now have a dainty little footpath leading us from the main entrance all the way to our chill zone. Next, we are going to make a pool. So leave a gap of 1 right of this smooth stone and dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows to the right. Then dig all the way to the very front of the garden, and then dig to the left, and then extend it back on ourselves to create a rectangle. We want to place smooth quartz stairs here with smooth quartz block all the way around. We then want to remove all of the grass block in between and replace all of the grass/dirt with smooth quartz. We are then going to fill the middle of this in with water, with light grey carpet on top of the smooth quartz. I'll let you guys make the decision. Do you think that the lawn looks better as grass block, or do you think it looks better as lime terracotta? My personal vote, just me, is going to be grass block, so that's what I'm going to use, but do feel free to choose whichever you think looks better. We are going to make a car. Place 4 of your favourite wool in the driveway, 1, 2, 3, 4. Add another row next to it. Extend these 2 blocks up. Place glass in front with red carpet on top. Place stone buttons along the side of the car with glow item frames in front of the wall, and there we go. Next, we are just going to add a small patio set along this balcony. Place a smooth quartz stair here with a smooth quartz slab in front of it. Scaffolding to the right, flower pot on top. Right of this, a furnace with a detector rail on top. Extend to the right with a spruce trapdoor and place an item frame on top of that. So it's up to you whether you wanted to add some glass or fence or trapdoors or something around this. My recommendation would be to do none of those things and keep it like so. With the entire outside of the house complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. So first of all, we are just going to work on the garage. It's very simple in here. Place a crafting table in the corner with 2 spruce trapdoors extending out from it. Flip up a spruce trapdoor here. Place a brewing stand here. Flower pot here, and then just chuck some bookshelves along the side. And if you wanted to, you could actually stick a car in here. You'd probably have to remove these bookshelves, but that's certainly a possibility. You could say, move the bookshelves to here, and I think that you guys know how to make a car by now. Let's whip one up. Anyone else in the mood for purple? Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. And once we've done with that, we can just stick a door here and goodbye. And whilst we are here as well, we should also make the stairs up to the 2nd floor. So these stairs start right here next to this door. Place another one here. Remove whatever blocks we need to. And there we go. So just 3 stairs should do it, just leading all the way up to here. We do also have to just clean up this wall a little bit as well, just whilst we're here. So we'll replace this with grey concrete. But downstairs, I'm pretty happy to just have like a little hybrid area. So I will just clean up underneath the stairs with some smooth quartz block. And I'll place a couple of grey concrete here. And then the rest of this wall is actually just bookshelves like this. Whilst we're here, we are going to place some grey banners in front of our grey concrete. A painting here, my favourite. Flower pot here, poppy inside of it, and a lantern here. Then, along this wall, we are going to place note blocks here, black concrete on top. You can place a painting in them if you want, my second favourite painting. Then we are going to place in this position, sideways smooth quartz stair, extend across 2, and then place a smooth quartz slab here, just like this. You can inverse it if you like as well, but I just like this. And then we are going to use some dead bubble coral fans to make a small rug. So this can kind of just go all the way in between if you like. I would definitely shift over this grey concrete as well, just to kind of like cover up next to the TV, and then it's nice and sat in the middle. Look at that. Next, we are going to place a smooth quartz stair here and here with 2 rows of light grey concrete in front of these. And then flower pots here and here with item frames behind. You can reverse it if you like. And you can even stick chairs on the opposite end of this table. But this is just so nice and uncluttered. I mean, it wouldn't make too much of a difference, but it just feels... This feels better to me. But do feel free to add some another set of chairs around that table. Moving on into the kitchen, we are going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth quartz blocks extending across the back of the kitchen. We will then place a brewing stand here, item frame here, flower pot here, item frame here. We will then place a set of light grey shulker boxes across the top of this, and then in this corner we will place 2 blocks of iron, cauldron here, tripwire hook here, and then just in front of the iron we will place stone buttons. So here we have a nifty little kitchen, and we can even place some white banners in front of the smooth quartz just to turn it into a set of cupboards. With the ground floor complete, we are now going to head upstairs and work on the second floor. So first of all, we are going to separate this into 2 rooms. We will place a grey concrete here with an oak door next to it, 2 grey concrete, and then we will extend and connect to this wall. And then we will extend our grey concrete up and around the door like this. This is the bedroom. We will place a 2x2 square of bookshelves here, armour stand here, double bed here, carpet on the end. We will then place a chest here. We only want a 1x2 painting above the bed. That one will do. And then for the rest of the outside here, do we want to add anything in this corner? So the idea is to add a brown glazed terracotta here with an azalea leaf here, and we could actually have the same thing here as well, so that it's kind of like at both ends. I think that looks pretty okay. We are now going to... Do we want some paintings? So we can... I think that we can actually place paintings nice and evenly. So like here and here. Oh, maybe just like... Not really. We can place like a 1x1 here and here. That doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty cool, actually. I think that I'm quite happy with that. We can now come into the bathroom. It's actually easier to fly into it like this. Another part of the reason why I left the roof off. We are going to place a smooth quartz stair here, flare it round, stick a tripwire hook here, cauldron here, oak trapdoor on top, and then we're just going to place red carpet in front of this. And there we go. If you are a bit of a stickler and need a sink in your bathroom, who needs to wash their hands anyway, we can have a sink here. Maybe we can even... we could use a tripwire hook for the sink, and we could use either a lever or a button for the bath. So that looks pretty okay. We can just kind of like carpet the area a little bit if you like. I wouldn't really add too much anything else into this room. It's already a little bit cramped as it is. And then for the roof, I'd be tempted to extend this grey concrete over like this, and then over like this, and then you can see we actually have a nice pattern that's naturally formed in the roof, which we can just add glass to. I think that looks rather nice, if I do say so myself. I think that looks pretty good, allows in natural light, and what, guys, we've done it. With that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our brand new modern house into our city. It's going to surprise you to learn that the modern house is going into the modern suburbs. We are going to make the opposite side of this street right here using this house. We're going to repeat it a few times. We may or may not, we're not going to change the colour of the house to alter it a little bit. And there we have yet another street in the modern suburbs. The modern suburbs stock is suddenly rising. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to make anything else by me, please check the description below for the mini city builds playlist. We have over 100 builds in there for you to enjoy. Alternatively, the sidebar, hopefully the next upcoming video, YouTube, or just check the channel. Consider becoming a channel member today and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered. Java edition only. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.